the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
AFP earns high public trust and satisfaction in latest Octa survey. Local officials and military hold the briefing after clash with NPA in Oriental Mindoro. Valenzuela, Caloocan and Malabon LGUs suspend face-to-face classes due to high heat index. DA pushes for solar-powered ice plants to reduce spoilage of goods.
Good day, everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Monday, March 3, 2025, and this is AFP Community News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. In behalf of Rob Suzon, this is Jhai Simbajon, here to bring you today's stories. DWDD Armed Forces News. And the Armed Forces of the Philippines received strong public approval in the latest Tugon ng Masa survey by Octa Research conducted from November 10 to 16, 2024. Results showed that 76% of Filipinos are satisfied with the AFP's performance, giving it a plus 74 net satisfaction rating. Trust in the military also remains high at 75%, with a plus 73 net trust rating. Additionally, 78% of respondents favor strengthening international alliances, while 83% affirm the AFP's political neutrality in ensuring fair and peaceful elections. The AFP welcomed the survey's result, vowing to continue its mission to safeguard national security and promote regional stability. DWDD Armed Forces News. And security forces arrested 3 armed men and confiscated firearms during a law enforcement operation in Barangay Tunganon, Carmen, Cotabato yesterday. According to Lieutenant Colonel Erwin J.E. Dumaghan of the 40th Infantry Battalion, a clash erupted between 2 armed groups in the area, prompting military and police units to respond swiftly and restore peace. Authorities recovered 1 M14 rifle, 2 M16 rifles, 2 bandoliers with magazines and ammunition, and a short handheld radio from the suspects, who were immediately brought to the police station for investigation and legal proceedings. Relatedly, authorities urged the public to report suspicious activities and cooperate in maintaining peace and security in the region. DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio. On the other line, let us hear more from Gio about 103rd Infantry Battalion distributes medicines to health centers in Kalinga. Gio?
Yes, Jhai, the 103rd Infantry Battalion distributed medicines to selected health centers in Pinukpok and Balbalan, Kalinga. The medicines donated by PAP Civic Isabela were handed over to barangay health workers, the frontline caregivers, and their communities. Barangay health workers expressed gratitude to 103rd Infantry Battalion for their continued support in improving healthcare services. Relatedly, the 103rd Infantry Battalion remains committed in partnering with agencies and organizations to ensure medical assistance reaches remote and underserved communities. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio. Armed Forces News. And a communist terrorist was neutralized in an encounter with the government troops in Barangay Baloan, Palimbang, Sultan, Kudarat. According to Lieutenant Colonel Aaron T. Gumaba of the 57th Infantry Battalion, around 20 rebels engaged security forces in a gunfight, leading to the death of 1 insurgent. Authorities are still verifying the identity of the deceased. Troops recovered an M16 rifle and an M14 rifle from the clash site. Brigadier General Michael A. Santos, commander of the 603rd Infantry Brigade, has ordered his forces to pursue the remaining rebels. DWDD And following the recent clash between government troops and the New People's Army in Barangay Panaytayan, Mansalay, Oriental, Mindoro, local officials, military and police held a debriefing session to address residents' concerns and counter misinformation. Led by Mayor Ferdinand Maliwanag, the meeting included representatives from the Municipal Social Welfare and Development, 4th Infantry Battalion, 1st and 2nd CMO Battalions, and Mansalay Municipal Police Station. Residents from 5 sitios were evacuated to Salay Elementary School for safety. To ease fears, the local government distributed food packs, held children's games, and provided free ice cream. On the other hand, Mayor Maliwanag urged remaining NPA members to surrender.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Lenore about ex-NPA leader urges public to reject Makabayan bloc cover over alleged ties to armed struggle. Lenore?
Former New People's Army leader Arian Jane Ramos has called on the public to reject the Makabayan bloc, declaring that the voting them to support armed conflict and violence against indigenous people, youth, farmers, and women. Speaking at the Commission on Elections, she emphasized national security concerns and asserted that former rebels have the right to present evidence against individuals linked to insurgency. Ramos also urged the government to recognize the testimonies of ex-rebels, reinforcing efforts against the Communist Party of the Philippines. This is Leonor Talap reporting for AFP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo S. Browner Jr. praised the 4th Infantry Diamond Division for its recent victories against communist terrorist groups during the visit to Camp Romualdo C. Rubay, Butuan City. He commended the neutralization of top CTG leaders, boosting troop morale, and reinforcing the military's anti-insurgency efforts in northern Mindanao and Caraga. During the visit, 12 officers and 7 enlisted personnel from 901st Infantry Brigade received commendations for their role in the February 12, 2025 encounter that led to the death of CPP-NPA leader Mierna Solarte. Meanwhile, 8 officers and 5 enlisted personnel from the 401st Infantry Brigade were honored for eliminating Larry Garcia, commander of the RSDG NEMRC, and his deputy.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD National News.
the local governments of Valenzuela, Caloocan, and Malabon City announced the suspension of face-to-face classes today. This is due to the hot weather. Pag-asa forecasts a dangerous heat index level of 46 degrees Celsius today. All classes in public schools in Valenzuela City and kindergarten to senior high school classes in public schools in Caloocan City will shift to asynchronous or blended learning. Meanwhile, all levels in both public and private schools in Malabon City also suspended face-to-face classes.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From Northern Luzon Command, let us hear some information from Joan about 5th Infantry Division joins simultaneous fun run in celebration of the Philippine Army's 128th anniversary. Joan?
In celebration of the Philippines Army's 128th anniversary with the theme Matatag na Sandigan ng Bagong Pilipinas, the 5th Infantry Division actively participated in a simultaneous fun run on March 1, 2025. All soldiers of the 5th ID, along with their dependents and civilian human resource, joined the event to promote the importance of physical fitness and encourage the public to maintain a healthy lifestyle. The run featured 3 categories, 3 km, 5 km, and 10 km, with a total of 606 runners participating. The top performers in each category received various military supplies. The fun run is part of a series of activities dedicated to commemorating the Philippines Army more than a century of service to the nation. All soldiers gathered at the 5th ID Grandstand and enthusiastically participated in the run, which aimed to strengthen camaraderie and emphasize the value of physical health. This is John Sagok reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joan.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Agriculture is looking into establishing a network of solar-powered ice plants across the country. This aims to minimize spoilage and post-harvest losses in agricultural and fishery products. DA Secretary Francisco Laurel Jr. said that by introducing ice early in the supply chain, they can extend the shelf life of produce. Preservation of the goods' freshness and overall value is vital in generating a more substantial profit. The DA chief also noted that the spoilage rate of fruits and vegetables as well as fishery products and livestock is between 35% and 40%.
DWDD. National News.
And House Speaker Martin Romualdez wants Filipinos to have affordable, nutritious vegetables to go with their purchase of affordable rice. Romualdez has stressed vegetables are a daily need of the Filipino family. He said that the government needs to ensure that there is ample, affordable, and nutritious food on the tables. Recent data from the Philippine Statistics Authority highlights the volatility of vegetable prices. Last month, the average retail price of tomatoes stood at 109 peso per kilo. Red onion prices increased to 162.69 pesos per kilogram from 153.70 centavos pesos per kilogram.
DWDD. National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Siya about Philippine Army holds a nationwide fitness run. Siya?
The Philippine Army led a simultaneous run gathering thousands of participants at Port Bonifacio, Taguig City, and the key army camps across the country. Officers, enlisted personnel, dependents, and civilian running enthusiasts joined 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, and 10-kilometer races. Army Chief Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido emphasized that the event showcased the Army's commitment to a healthy lifestyle essential for becoming a matatag na sandigan ng bagong Pilipinas. Moreover, runners from the United States Army Pacific and partner organizations also participated along with corporate sponsors. This is Shaina Araneta reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Siya.
DWDD. National News.
And the Department of Transportation will purchase around 1.25 billion pesos passive body scanners and body-worn cameras this year to enhance transport security. House Committee Appropriations member and Quezon City 4th District Representative Marvin Rillo said that in the 2025 General Appropriations Law, Congress allocated 800 million pesos for the DOTR's procurement of passive body scanners. He added that Congress also earmarked 450 million pesos for the department's acquisition of body-worn cameras for the security personnel. Both appropriations are itemized under the DOTR's 50.7 billion pesos budget for 2025.
DWDD. National News.
And 33 policemen from Negros Occidental with relative running in the elections have been temporarily reshuffled to other police stations in the province. This is to prevent any potential misuse of authority. Negros Occidental Police spokesperson Police Captain Zudesis Catalogo said the move is part of the Philippine National Police's effort to ensure that lawmen remain non-partisan during the election period. Catalogo added that they do not want their personnel to be involved in any election process. The 33 policemen will return to their original post after the elections.
DWDD. National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear more from Meljoy of 1st Civil Relations Group about 91st Infantry Battalion celebrates Women's Month with a resounding commitment to gender equality. Meljoy?
Yes, good afternoon. The 91st Infantry Sinagtala Battalion Philippine Army enthusiastically joined the nation in celebrating Women's Month this March, wholeheartedly embracing the inspiring theme, Babae sa lahat ng sektor, aangat ang bukas sa bagong Pilipinas. The battalion's female officers and enlisted personnel, spearheaded by the dynamic 2nd Lieutenant K.B. Ibio Philippine Army, the battalion's Gender and Development Officer actively and vibrantly participated in a series of impactful activities designed to champion gender equality and empower women. A striking and prominent tarpaulin strategically placed in a highly visible location boldly proclaimed the profound significance of Women's Month and the battalion's unwavering commitment to upholding women's rights and ensuring their welfare. Thought-provoking and informative leaflets were meticulously distributed throughout the community, effectively raising awareness about crucial gender equality issues and inspiring active participation in ongoing advancement of women. These significant efforts powerfully underscore the 91st Infantry Battalion's steadfast dedication to cultivating an inclusive and supportive environment where women can flourish, thrive, and contribute their invaluable talents to the vital work of nation building. The battalion remains resolutely committed to empowering women across all sectors and to illuminating a brighter, more equitable future for the Philippines. This is Meldray Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy.
DWDD National News.
And Valenzuela City Mayor Wes Gatchalian hailed the cooperation of his constituents in the intensified anti-dengue drive, which resulted in the decline of cases. Gatchalian said that based on its weekly monitoring, the dengue cases in the city are now on a downward trend. The City Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit received 59 reported dengue cases from February 9 to 15, while 13 dengue cases were recorded from February 16 to 22. There was no single death reported last month.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo said that the Philippines continues to stand by Ukraine in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. In an interview with a few days before the meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the DFA chief said that the Philippines will maintain its own position in the Ukraine conflict. He emphasized the country's support for a United Nations resolution demanding Moscow's withdrawal of its military forces from Ukraine. Manalo also noted that as far as the Philippines is concerned, it still supports the basic fundamental principles of the international law and the UN Charter.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
Now let us hear a reporter on the ground about 72 former rebels wed in tribal mass wedding in Bukidnon. Go on for the details, Mike.
Yes, a total of 72 tribal couples, including former New People's Army members, exchanged vows in a tribal mass wedding in Barangay Digungan, Kitaw-Taw, Bukidnon. Nakasala ng bayan was officiated by Dato Cosme Lambayon, Municipal Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representative, with newlyweds received symbolic gift of rice for sustenance and prosperity. Lieutenant Colonel Antonio G. Bulao, 89th IB Battalion Commander, and Vice Mayor Mary Angie Anget attended the event. Relatedly, local authorities and security forces continued to work with indigenous communities to promote peace, stability, and development in the region. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike. And now let us hear more updates from Spencer about 11th Infantry Division concludes Alakdan Squad Challenge. Spencer?
Jhai, the 11th Infantry Division successfully conducted its first quarter Alakdan Squad Challenge at Division Headquarters in Holosulu, enhancing troop readiness and operational skills. Squads competed in confidence firing, close quarter combats, obstacle course, reconnaissance patrols, signals operations, and tactical combat casualty care. The 41st Infantry Battalion emerged as champion with its 89.32% average, followed by the 101st Infantry and 35th Infantry Battalion. Major General Leonardo Peña, commander of 11ID, and Joint Task Force Orion commanded the troops, and he emphasized their role in security and lasting peace in Sulu and in Basilan. This is Spencer reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Labor and Employment has introduced reforms in its labor dispute settlement mechanism to make the process faster and easier for both workers and employers. The Labor Secretary Benvenido Laguisma, the DO 249, will enhance the conciliation mediation process under the single entry approach, a system designed to quickly and fairly resolve labor issues without the need for expensive and lengthy legal proceedings. He added that these improvements were developed through consultations with labor groups, employers, and government agencies. Under DO 249, workers now have greater flexibility in filing a request for assistance as the new guidelines allow them to file their complaints at the DOLE office nearest their residence.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. asserted that his supports are real people and not online trolls or keyboard warriors. In his latest vlog uploaded to his social media pages, the president expressed his appreciation for the people who crowd the sorties of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas senatorial slate, saying their presence proves the legitimacy of his political base. The president emphasized that these supporters are not just anonymous social media accounts, but real individuals who engage with him personally. Despite online attacks and misinformation, Marcos said his administration will remain focused on governance.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From Southern Luzon, Command, let us hear from Jess about 31st Infantry Battalion supports activation of Provincial Committee KN Contra Bigay in Sorsogon. Jess?
Yes, Rof, the 31st Infantry Charge Battalion actively participated in the activation of the Provincial Committee on Contrabigay in Sorsogon, spearheaded by the Commission on Election, alongside the 903rd Infantry Brigade, 22nd Infantry Battalion, Sorsogon Police Provincial Office, PSWDO, and other government agencies at the COMELEC office in Sorsogon City. The initiative focused on discussions about COMELEC Resolutions number 11104, which strictly prohibits vote buying and vote selling. This collaborative efforts underscores the shared commitment of law enforcement, the military, and government agencies to uphold electoral integrity and prevent irregularities in the upcoming elections. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Colonel Joy O. Villanueva, commanding officer of the 31st Infantry Battalion, reaffirmed the unit's dedication to ensuring clean and honest elections. The battalion recognizes the crucial role of the committee in preventing, detecting, and addressing election-related violations and remain committed to providing the necessary support to achieve these objectives. The 31st IB continues to stand firm in its mission to contribute to a secure and peaceful electoral process for the benefit of the community and the nation. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess. More updates from Beth about 4th Infantry Battalion clashes with CPP-NPA rebels in Oriental Mindoro. Beth?
Philippine Army troops from the 4th Infantry Scorpion Battalion engaged 15 CPP-NPA in the F rebels in Sitio Lumboy, Barangay Panaytayan, Mansalay, Oriental Mindoro recently. Police forces have joined the military in tracking down the fleeing rebels. Authorities confirmed that no government forces were injured and residents in the area remained safe. Security forces continue their pursuit to prevent further rebels' activities. This is Bethanyata reporting for the AFP Community News, 1 AFP for the stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Beth Tanyete.
DWDD National News.
And for our final news, Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Pimentel III has accepted the proposal to lead the drafting of the rules governing the conduct of impeachment trial against Vice President Sara Duterte. Senate Committee on Rules Chairman Senator Francis Tolentino recommended him to lead the drafting of impeachment rules through a special subcommittee. Pimentel said there is no problem as there are only 5 lawyers in the Senate at present. Aside from Pimentel and Tolentino, the other lawyers in the upper chambers are Senate President Francis Escudero and the siblings Pia Cayetano and Alan Peter Cayetano.
DWDD National News.
And that concludes today's broadcast. Thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time, same station. Once again, this is Jhai Simbajon for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.